Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Whitelocks and today let's start Path of Exile. This is going to be a story-only walkthrough, and I'm also gonna give my best to explain everything that beginners need to know about this game. So without further ado, let's begin. This is the list with all my characters, so let's make a new one. Okay, now we need to choose a league. We have a standard league, which is a default game mode, and we also have a specific type of league that changes every 3 months with new updates or expansions. And in this case, this is the Harvest League. Now we also have a hardcore option, where you have only 1 life, and if you die, your character gets sent over to softcore standard league. Now we also have a solo self-found, where you are not allowed to play with other people or trade with other people, you are completely on your own solo. If you start a solo self-found and you don't like it, you can always turn it off, but once you turn it off, there is no way back. Now I'm gonna pick Harvest solo self-found, and I might turn it off later just to show you how trading with other people works. Okay, so now we have to pick one of 7 characters. All of these classes share a big passive skill tree, which I will show you in a moment, and the only difference is where they start on that skill tree. They also have a different starting attributes and different subclass, which is a mini skill tree that defines your class even more. Now, if you didn't understand anything, don't worry, you will by the end of this walkthrough.
You swore sinew and soul to serve God and the Order of the Templar. For years you built a life upon faith, only to smite it asunder with one sinful blow. And is that not the greatest folly of all, to lose faith when it's all you have left? You were once the chosen of God, a Templar. You are now the chosen of Rayclast, an exile. You were born with quickness of body and sharpness of mind. How have you paid for these gifts? With innocent blood. Yours is a predatory profession, the business of butchery. You have stolen many a life to fill your purse. Now you will earn your redemption in Rayclast. Do you think you are savage enough to face the land of the damned, marauder? We offered you truth, yet still you clasped your superstitious lies. We offered you service, yet you wasted your strength in defiance. Rayclast offers you something else, an education in true savagery. A scion of perfection in mind, body, and grace. The crowning glory of our civilization, offering us hope, offering us light. But you gave us only murder and darkness. May Rayclast embrace you as we cannot, for your very presence has become too painful to bear.
Now, new players will not be allowed to choose this class because this class is unlocked when you finish Act 3.
Swift and silent, you stole the bounty of others. A crow that plunders our crops. A stray dog that slaughters our sheep. Ariath is a land of men, not animals. Think on that, Ranger, when Rayclast shows you how to truly live like an animal. You were born to be swift and strong. What did you do with your gifts, duelist? You squandered them on self-indulgence. Sin has led you here, your path inked in the blood of gratuitous murder. You have betrayed the grand arena. Now Rayclast shall be your audience, and your foe. Why do the keen of mind seek to satiate their curiosity in darkness and depravity? Innocence is our father. Ariath is our mother. When a daughter strays from the light, she makes herself an orphan. Learn well the lessons that Ray class will teach you, witch. It is your only hope of finding your way home.
Now I'm gonna pick witch and let me think of some creative name.
The very sand shivers with malice. There's a power here that welcomes me.
Okay, now the first thing that you need to do is go to your options, UI, and check if you have a loot filter. If you don't, then you need to download one immediately. Because if you don't have any loot filter, you're going to be overwhelmed with items. You will not know which item is good for you, which item is good for selling, which item is good for leaving. Basically, you're going to waste a lot of time, and let me show you how the game looks like with and without loot filter. As you can see, the loot filter doesn't only remove the unimportant items, it also highlights more important items, like giving them a beam, like giving them a sound when they drop. It's a really beautiful and useful thing, and it's also fully customizable. You can change anything on it that you don't like. Okay, now to get the loot filter, all you have to do is type filter blade or loot filter in Google, or I'm gonna leave you a link in the video description down below, and all you have to do is go to download and download as zip. So basically this will download multiple loot filters, starting with the one that shows you the most and ending with the one that shows you the least. And you will be able to change them at any time while playing the game. But since I'm gonna play a specific build, I wanna customize it just a little bit. And here you can customize everything about this loot filter. And what I need to customize is optional filter modules, animate weapon mode, and just click show. And you're gonna see later what I did and why I did it. So let's go download it once again. So find the zip file you downloaded, open it, then go to my documents, my games, Path of Exile, and just extract the loot filter that you got here. You don't need the soft filter. I never use the soft one, only the rest of them. And now let's jump back into game. Okay, so now we wanna go to options, UI, and then turn on filter blade regular. And that's it. Now we got ourselves a first weapon. Since we are a witch, we got a wand.
You and I, we're the only ones that made it to shore. Alive, anyway. Looks like you found something you can defend yourself with. Good. This place is crawling with criminals. There's smoke rising just east of here. Could be worth checking if there's...
The dead will soon rise for me, not against me.
Okay, so we got our first skill gem. So basically almost all of the skills in this game that you can use come from skill gems. So if you want to use any skill, you have to pick it up and socket it in your gear. As you can see now, on the right click we have Fireball. Okay, so we got our first support gem. Now, support gems are not skill gems because they don't give you any skill. However, they can support skill gems by making them better and stronger. So in this case, this gem will support our fireball. Now, support gem can only support a skill gem if they are placed on the same item, so the item needs multiple sockets, and those sockets need to be linked together, like this link here, in order for support gem to work. Now, this mechanic with linked sockets will be changed in the future, especially in Path of Exile 2, but for now, this is how it works. Now, in this game and many other games like this one, you don't want to explore everything, you just want to go forward and get to the end game as soon as possible. But for this walkthrough, I'm gonna explore everything. On the bottom left we have 2 health potions and 1 mana potion.
I need more mana. And I thought I'd be a dead woman by now.
And welcome to Path of Exile's passive skill tree. Many people call this a skill forest. I know that this may look intimidating, but trust me, it's not, once you get to know it. So, this skill tree is the same for all classes. So the Witch class starts here. The Templar class starts here. The Marauder class starts here. The Duelist class starts here. Ranger class starts here. Shadow class starts here. And the Scion class starts here, in the middle. And this is why the Scion is locked for beginners, because it's kinda more complicated than the other classes. Now, the items with red letters are completely useless, but you will see later why I need them. Okay, I'm gonna put my first skill point here. Also, if there is something that you want to find in this skill tree, for example, I want this game to show me all the minion nodes, I can just type minion, and the game will highlight all the minion nodes in the skill tree. If I want life nodes, I can just type life. If I want life leech, I can just type life leech. Mana leech. So basically whatever you need, you can type it here and the game will highlight it for you so that you can plan your way in the skill tree. Or you can just Google a Path of Exile builds and take someone else's build. Now I'm gonna leave you a link in the video description where you can find other builds for Path of Exile, and I'm also gonna leave you a link with my profile where you can check out this build from this walkthrough, if you wanna copy it or just check it out.
I saw what you did to Hillock out there, Witch. Your black art is the reason you're here, in exile. It may also be the only thing that allows you to see another dawn. I'm Nessa, and I suppose I should thank you for ridding us of that putrid giant. Back in Oriath, I judged your kind without hesitation. In Rayclast, I don't have that luxury. Lion Eye's watch isn't much, but it's ours. We could use you here, while you live. But should you wish to venture out, do just one thing for me. Out on the coast, amongst the wrecks, there must be a ship's medicine chest. I have many to care for, and there's only so much I can do with herbs and seawater. While we live, we are blessed.
Okay, so this is the first town, the first hub area, and in here you can see other players. This is our stash. Here we can put items that we want to keep. So new players will only have these 4 stash tabs. However, the green stash tabs are the ones bought with microtransactions. If you press M, you will get a microtransaction window, and here you can buy all kinds of things. It's mostly cosmetic things, but as you can see, you can also buy stash tabs. And if you like this game and you get to the end game, and you love the end game, you will probably end up buying some stash tab. The notice board basically tells you about open public parties, and it makes easier for you to join them.
A wayfish, waterlogged witch, washed up in Rayclast. That's the first line of the poem I'm writing about you, exile. Easy go. You could scorch a bloke with a look like that. The name's Bestel, captain of the good ship Merry Gull. At last, my Merry Gull is gone. My crew is gone. But my wits remain, after a fashion. There's an island, a hop, skip and a wade offshore of the terraces. That's where my Merry Gull ran aground. Watched the locals spit roast the ship's doctor, but his medicine chest might still be there, amongst the splinters and bones. It'd have everything Nessa might need. Dr. Shaky Hands Opton was lousy with a scalpel and even worse with a saw, but he knew his apothecary. Explains the shaky hands, if you ask me.
Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, forget I asked. We exiles have no history. Dominus took it from us when he had his blackguards dump us in the water out there. Here, got something for you. Should help you kill a few more of those undead bastards. Don't bother thanking me. The way I figure it, the longer we fighters live, the longer everyone lives.
Okay, so we can pick one skill gem as a quest reward. So I'm gonna pick Raise Zombie.
Farewell.
So let's see. Now this is an identified item, and if we want to use it, we need to identify it. And we can do that with Scrolls of Wisdom. I'm gonna put my Raise Zombie here. And now I wanna show you one thing. One really cool and good thing. Now we have 2 skill gems, which basically means we can cast 2 skills. And we have this support skill gem. Now, what you want to do now is go to your options, UI, and check this support gem utility pop-up. Turn it on. So now the game will tell you on which skill gems does this support gem work. As you can see here in this corner right here, you have active skills, which is a fireball that we have, and a Raise Zombie. If we take it off, we only have fireball. So we have fireball and Raise Zombie. And on the right, you can see a green check mark. That means that this support gem works on both skills. If it's a marked X, red marked X icon, that means the support doesn't work on those skill gems. However, sometimes it's more complicated than that. Sometimes it will say that support gem works, but it actually doesn't. So what you should also do is you should read the skill gem tags or the support gem tags. So if you start to read this skill, Fireball. So on the top of this skill gem it says Fireball, but below that we have the skill gem tags. And it says Projectile, Spell, AoE and Fire. And these are the skill gem tags. So this skill is a projectile, it's a spell, it's a AoE, and it's also fire. So support gems that boost projectile, spell, AoE, and fire, all of them will work with this skill gem. This skill gem is only a spell and a minion, so all support gems that buff spells and minions will work with this skill gem. But of course, sometimes it can be more complicated, and don't worry, I will explain the complicated stuff later.
Hello. Tarklee's as good a man as you can find on this god-forsaken coast. He has some wrongs to right, no doubt. What they are, I've never asked, and I never will. If not for Tarklee, we'd all be dead. The Merry Gull ran aground on the tidal island trying to escape from pirates. As tends to happen here in Rayclast, her crew met a far worse fate. Cannibals. Tarklee pulled Bestel from some hideaway in the wreckage. The ship's only survivor. Whether the ordeal fractured his mind or whether it was just in his nature all along, it's clear that Bestel sails a different course to the rest of us. God hasn't abandoned us. Yes?
Poor Nessa. Not even a mother herself, and yet she cares for us all. And what a sickly, pathetic brood we are. May she live to have her own family. A real family. If anyone deserves that, Nessa does.
Tarklee, rescued from the waves. A stricken Bestel, fate's slave. From fallen crew and broken bark, Bestel lives, thanks to Tarklee.
Harold, the Merry Gold's cook, washed up on the rocks over yonder. Dead as a doornail he was, buried him myself. Then, a few days later, I see him on the beach. A little worse for wear, but upright, shuffling about. A land full of disturbing surprises, this Rayclast.
Greetings. Founded by Marseilles Lioneye as a supply station for his campaigns against the Karui. In its day, Lioneye's watch could be defended by just a small garrison of well-armed legionnaires. What have I got? A handful of starving criminals with driftwood clubs and rusted hatchets.
I feel like I should lower the music volume a little bit.
Still alive, are we? The Eternal Empire has some right nasty leftovers. Whether it's something in the air or in the water, no one stays dead in Rayclast. Not the first time. Can take a little while, but sooner or later corpses wake up and go looking for breakfast. That hat Bestel wears? Saw him pluck it from the real captain's head right before the cannibals barbecued the poor bastard. Waste not, want not, I suppose. Yes, Bestel's got a gift for telling tales, but I'd never call him a liar. The truth's always in there. You just have to listen for it. Nessa's the one keeps the rest of us from losing our minds. To be honest, when she first arrived, I didn't think she'd survive more than a day, 2 at most. She's been proving me wrong every dawn since. Heard a bard once sing that the fairest flowers bloom in the foulest places. He was bloody well right. I've seen many an exile pass through Lioneye's watch, and many more that simply pass on. Those letters are my way of keeping track, of remembering. Oriath might want to forget us all, but I'll be damned if I will.
Okay, let's see what we can buy now. So you really want to keep an eye out on which socket colors you want and if they are linked. Okay, this is a 3-linked helmet. And 3-linked gloves. These gloves are good. I need them. These ones are also good.
Farewell.
Okay, here we can buy a 3-linked wand. We can also buy some gems. And I wanna buy this one. So I'm also gonna get this wand.
While we live, we are blessed.
And then I'm gonna sell these items. To move them right away, you just have to hold control and click. You don't have to move them manually like this. So it's just control click.
God hasn't abandoned us.
Now I'm not gonna use fireball anymore. I'm just gonna use ethereal knives. And I could sell the fireball.
What little help I can offer is yours.
So this game doesn't have gold as a currency. The currency is basically scrolls of wisdom, alteration shards, fragments of wisdom. For 5 scroll fragments, you will get 1 scroll of wisdom.
What little help I can offer is...
Welcome. Farewell.
I know that stench. Just like my sisters, upon the pyre.
Okay, now let's hold on for a moment and let me show you something. So in this game, when you kill something, you gain experience, and your skill gems also gain experience. So to level them up, you just have to click the plus icon. Now the reason why the skill gems are not leveling up automatically is because sometimes you don't want to level them up, and I'm gonna explain why later.
Khan's canoe struck this sand with the force of destiny. At his beck, the greatest war host in Karui history tamed the wild sea, their canoes coupling with the land one by one. Lion-eyes gemlings met us with shining metal and bold words. Hyri's arrows withered their pride, Calm's axis silenced their despair. Marseilles Lion-eye fought bravely to the last. Calm honored him with a place on his belt. Calm has shown Rayclast our Karui strength. Calm will teach Rayclast the Karui way.
As you can see, the skill gems are leveling up pretty fast. Now, this is the skill gem that I don't want to level, because I'm only going to use it to summon some minions. And if you don't want to level a skill gem anymore, you just have to right-click it, and you will hide it and never see it again. If you want to continue leveling it, if you changed your mind, you can see it down here, and all you have to do is just click on plus, and then you will continue to level it up. The reason why I don't wanna level this gem up is because with each level up, the gem will require more attribute points. For example, since this is a green skill gem, it will require more dexterity, and also higher level skill gems will cost more mana. And I don't wanna waste my mana, since this is not going to be my main damage spell. I'm only gonna use it just to summon minions.
To learn is to live.
Okay, now this thing here is a current league mechanic. So every league, every 3 months, we will get some new things in Path of Exile, new league mechanics, and those league mechanics will spawn in every single map.
Do you seek to grow your power, Exile? I am Oshabi. I was born on this land. I have lived my whole life on this land. I will die on this land. And when that day comes, with its blessing, I hope I will stay dead. We Asmeri are few, but when the land's whispers grew silent, my brothers and sisters turned their backs on me. In that exile, we have something in common. If you wish to do more than feed the shambling dead, you will need to grow strong. I have seen what you are capable of. You show promise, but you are a sapling, not yet shaped by the savage winds that break most. If you wish to stand where others fall, ensure you've collected all the seeds and follow me. I have something to show you. If you wish to do more than feed the shambling dead, you will need to grow strong. I have seen... This way, exile. This is the sacred grove. I am its warden, and you are its guest. Within its soils lay great secrets. Powerful secrets. You have seen the animating forces of Rayclast, yes? The dead do not stay dead. The living are shaped and twisted by unseen forces. Here, in this garden, we may peer into the patterns of life. We may separate the monster from its creator, and, if the garden allows, we may wield its creative energies. Do you see what grows near here? Something sleeps within, and it grows restless. Wake it. Kill it. This is what the garden asks of you.
So basically with this league mechanic, we are getting seeds. We can plant these seeds here. Then these seeds will grow up, then we will kill them, and then we will get some powerful crafting options. Now you don't have to put your seeds manually, you can just click auto plant seeds.
Not too different from burying the dead, is it?
And since we have some seeds that are ready to be harvested, we can just click this to harvest them.
I need more mana.
Okay, so we killed them. Now we need to click this. And now we have some crafting options. Like reforge rare item, reforge a color of sockets on our items, basically change the color of sockets. Reforge rare, reforge a normal or magic item. So basically, when it says reforge a normal or magic, normal items are the white items, magic items are blue items, and rare items are yellow items. So let's put this wand here. Let's reforge it. And as you can see, this item became yellow, or a rare item. And it now gives us a increased physical damage, lightning damage to spells, lightning resistances, and accuracy rating. We can also reforge another normal item, so let's reforge this one. We gained 6 armor, life, fire resistances, and reflect physical damage. Now we can't do anything else anymore, so we can just click on Condense Life. I will explain you later what that does.
Good. The garden sings with approval. You are a welcome guest here, exile. The seeds planted here will be safe as they take root. I will ensure this. In time, they too will bear fruit. You may find other seeds, and when you do, I ask that you gather them and return. If we are to wield these wild energies, we will need a great many seeds. I will see you soon.
Now, how does the seed grow? So basically here you can see it says can be harvested after 3 growth cycles. The growth cycle is basically every time you spawn the League mechanic on the map and click on it. That's a growth cycle. So for this seed to grow up, we need to spawn this League mechanic 3 times and click on it. And then we can harvest this seed. We got a new skill point. Now, as you can see, we have less and less mana potion, and to refill our potions, all we have to do is kill some enemies. Or we can just teleport to town and back.
I need more mana.
Now, we just got a Orb of Chance. This orb allows us to upgrade normal items into random rarity. So basically, we need a white item. We can use this on any white item. And this has a chance to upgrade it to magic or blue, to rare or yellow, or even legendary. So, since it's called Orb of Chance, we have a chance to get anything. Okay, now we got a armorer scrap. This improves the quality of armor. And if we use it, take a look at armor. It says 25. If we use it, it's still gonna say 25, but if we used more, the armor value of this armor would go up. Now, there are also some hidden mechanics behind quality, but I'm gonna explain those later. Okay, now this was planned because I wanted to show you what happens when you die, so you can revive in town or at checkpoint. Okay, so this is a waypoint. We can use this to teleport to town and back. Now, the reasons why waypoints exist is because if you exit your game, you will respawn in town, and the waypoint will get you back on track. And also, if you leave the map will reset after 15 minutes, if you don't visit it again. You can also force reset the map by control clicking on it. So I'm gonna control click on this waypoint now. And as you can see, we can open a new instance. The previous one will expire in 14 minutes. Let's reopen a new one. And as you can see, the map is reset. Monsters have respawned. We got a blacksmith's whetstone. This improves the quality of a weapon. Now, if my mini-map or big map looks different than yours, that's because you can customize it in UI. As you can see, you can make the landscape more transparent or not. I just like to keep it like this, to only see the borders of the map.
Yes?
Nice, we got a new belt. Now, I'm not picking up the red items on the ground because these are the worst items in game, and I'm only gonna use them later to summon minions. That's basically why I customized my loot filter so that I can see them on the ground. Otherwise, if you don't customize your loot filter, you will not see them.
Calm has removed the eternal stain from this coast. The Empire's citizens decorate our meeting houses with their heads. Our warriors build homes for our families. Our families till the earth, fish the waters, fill the air with song. The Kardui way is yet a seedling here, but it grows, gains in pride and power every day. Calm has kept his promise. The time of the Kardui has come.
Okay, now below the minimap we have a quest log, and it tells us to go back to town. Now you can also press U on your keyboard. This will also open the world map and the quest log. And here you can click on the quests. The grayed out quests are the one that you completed, and on the left are the quests that you didn't complete. So this one, as you can see, it tells you what to do, and it also shows you where you need to go. So we are here, and we need to go here. Now on the coast, as you can see, it has this blue circle inside. That means that this area has a waypoint and that we unlocked it, and this area doesn't have a waypoint. You can also see a blue icon after the name, the coast, and then there is a blue mark. That also means that that area has a waypoint for you to unlock. So now to go back to town, we can either exit this area and go to the waypoint, we can open a portal to town, but the fastest way to do this is just to log out and then log in.
I'd almost stopped believing in miracles. This medicine chest, it's greater than the serums and salves it holds. It tells us that we can do more in Rayclass than merely suffer. I've not much to offer in return, but please, take something in thanks for what you've done.
So now we can pick a flask, and I'm gonna pick Quicksilver Flask, because this one gives us movement speed. We can also pick a support gem, and I'm gonna pick this one.
Farewell.
So, you managed to salvage Shaky Hand's druggery. Nicely done. Nessa will put it to good use. More than that benumbed quack Optin ever did.
Yes?
Got a job for you, if you're willing. There's a pool near the mudflats needs investigating. You'll smell it before you see it. Stinks like a carcass in high summer. But that's not the worst of it. Dead birds walking. Animals don't rise up again the same as people do here. So if they aren't raising themselves, what's doing it for them? The answer's in that fetid pool. Clear the place out and kill whatever's raising those rowers. We've got enough living dead to contend with already. That medicine chest you found, it'll do more than you might think. The medicine will run out, it always does, but Nessa won't. Give that girl a sliver of hope and she'll carry it to the end of the world. Though they might look like you or I, behind those eyes there's nothing but darkness and hunger. Whatever's got inside those folks is not even close to being human. Farewell.
Not right now.
Goodbye.
Now, if you sell unidentified items, you will get transmutation shards. While for white items, you get scrolls of wisdom or scroll fragments. This game has a system called
Take care.
vendor recipes, so you can give the vendor a different item or a different combination of items, and in return you will get something different.
Be well.
Let's see, now we have this side quest and we need to go here. Okay, now we have this spell, these ethereal knives, and we have this support gem. It says supported skills have 25% less area of effect, they deal less damage, but they also affect areas in front and behind targeted area. So let's try it out. So even though this support has a spell tag, and ethereal knives are also spell, as you can see, and the game already tells you that this support simply doesn't work with ethereal knives.
I think this ray class will serve.
Black storms descend on us from the north. Unnatural tempests of rage and hatred, lashing our backs, tearing at our houses. The rain is shot with shadow. It withers our crops, sickens our livestock. And the wind carries with it a restless spirit that breeds melancholy and madness. A spirit that creeps through our dreams, weaves tales of misdeed around our resting minds. We try not to listen. We try to remember ourselves. Some of us forget. Brothers fight. Brothers die. Calm punishes those that quarrel, that steal, that murder. Yet still the nightmares goad us into malefaction. We Karui are banished from sleep.
Nice, we got a ring.
Gather this bounty and bring it to the grove.
Now, as soon as we clicked on this, our plants have progressed one cycle. And as you can see, they have 2 cycles left to grow.
much clutter.
Okay, now this is a really important vendor recipe. As you can see, it's specially highlighted. So I'm gonna drop, let's say this, and take this. And let's go back to town immediately.
Hello.
So basically this is just a white item. But for this white item we only get a scroll fragment, because this white item is not special. But this one is special. And why is that? It's because this item has 3 sockets, they have 3 different colors, and all the colors are linked. So when we sell it, we will get a chromatic orb. This orb is also currency, but we can also use it to change the colors on our sockets, on any item that we want. And that's why it's special.
Hello.
So for example, if you have an item that has a socket that you don't want, you can just right click on this and then use it on any item. And the game will give you a random color sockets on that item.
Yes?
Nice, we got another item for a chromatic orb. Now this ring is also special because you can use it to craft some items by using vendor recipes, and I'm gonna show you that in a moment.
Too much clutter.
Okay, now we can go in only to activate a waypoint. Then we need to go back and do a side quest.
Mm-hmm. Farewell.
Now that you've drained that passage, best I warn you about something. I was running down a wounded rower one night's eve when I glimpsed something in that waterlogged cavern. Looked a bit like a sand spitter, only the size of a bloody ox. I reckon it's nesting down in those flooded depths somewhere. If you're going that way, then do us a favor. Spill the old shield crab's guts before it gets hungry and comes looking for us.
Okay, we got another skill gem. I'm gonna take this one. And this one.
Rowers? Overgrown chickens with a murderous streak. If you're not careful, they'll talon your guts out and snap them up like big fat worms. That said, be sure to rifle through their nests if you get the chance. Rowers are like magpies, attracted to what shines. Stay sharp out there. Stay sharp out there.
Yes? Don't tell Tarkley, but they're the foulest fowl I've ever tasted. Still, exiles can't be choosers. While we live, we are...
Roaming, rotting rowers, roosting right here in Rayclaws. Squawking, suppurating spooks stalking our sandy seashore. Blighted, bedeviled bird bones beaking about our business. What? Can't a man have even a little fun in this dismal place?
By the way, you can zoom in by scrolling up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after this quest, I wanna buy... Animate Weapon. This is going to be my main damage spell and my main minion spell. So, I'm gonna put it here for now. And let's see if we can support it with something. We could support it with this. By the way, here you can also type tags or name of the gem or if it's support or not. As you can see, it will only highlight the support gems. Let's say fire or minion. Or movement. As you can see, we have 2 movement skill gems. We got one as a quest reward.
What little help I can offer is... Take care.
And we're gonna use it. Okay, now I wanna change some of my skills and on which buttons I wanna cast them. So on my right click, I want to have my animate weapon. On Q, I want ethereal knives. On mouse button 4, I want frostblink, and on, let's say, W, I want raise zombies. As you can see, the frostblink is a movement skill, and we can use it to travel faster or to avoid damage or stuff like that. Okay, so the reason why I have ethereal knives is because when I cast them, they leave knives on the ground. And now I can use these knives on the ground to summon animate weapon. I like this spell because it's very unique, and it also reminds me of Kreia from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. As you can see, I can also summon the red lettered items, and that's why I customized my loot filter, just because of this spell. Okay, now this is the place where we need to go to do a side quest. We don't have to do this, but of course we're gonna do it.
Oops, clumsy me.
Okay, now to go back to town, we can just log out and log in.
A necromancer? Just the one, was it? Guess the bastard got a bit lonely, decided to make himself some pets. Wow. Good to see you don't mind getting your hands good and filthy. Here, to mark a dirty job well done.
Okay, we can't pick this because our inventory is full.
What little help I can offer is yours.
So let's sell some stuff. Now the thing that I want to show you with the rings is that, let's see. I'm gonna buy this gem, and this one. So we got blue, green, and red. Now, if we want to sell this ring and this gem, we will get a sapphire ring, which gives us cold resistances, and it gives us a lot. Now, if we want to sell this ring and this gem, we can get a topaz ring, or we can get a ruby ring. And this is just a fraction of how many vendor recipes are in this game. And the reason why I love this game is because the more tricks you know, the more game will reward you. It's not only based on pure luck.
Yes?
Now let's continue. Oh, by the way, let's go get a reward.
Still alive, are we?
So we got the Book of Regrets, and with this, we can refund 2 passive skill points if we want. So let's say we made a mistake and we don't want to go this way, we can just refund these 2 passive skill points, and later we can get much more refund points. Nice, now we can raise 1 more zombie.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Gather this bounty and bring it to the grove.
Now we can put seeds in this seed stockpile. Now I also want to change this default attack to move only, because sometimes I might click on some enemy accidentally and my character will start to attack it, and I don't want that. I only want my character to move. Now this is a shrine, it will give us a buff. You're regenerating life and mana. Now we need to go here to do a side quest.
When I'm ready, and not before.
By the way, maps in this game are random.
Too much clutter.
Okay, now I also want to go here quickly so that my map doesn't reset. Just in case.
You managed to kill a granddaddy crab. A pity you couldn't lug it up out of the caves for us. Could have made quite the chowder out of it. No matter. We've got one less reason to fear the dark. And I've got one more thing to thank you for.
We got a book of skill.
Stay
But
sharp
first,
out there.
let's sell our items.
What little help I can offer is yours.
What now? One day we'll be strong enough to make our way inland, build new lives on the carcass of a dead empire. It's why God sent us maggots here, isn't it?
That would just make life complicated.
Welcome. Stay sharp out there.
With this, we got a bonus skill point.
when I'm ready and not before.
Okay, so that's it. Now, since this game has a microtransactions and lots of cosmetic stuff, I can at least show you some. For example, this is a cosmetic tab. So down here we can set a different portal. So let's set this one. And now when we fire up a town portal, it's gonna look like this. Now, all of the cosmetics that I got was just through playing the game. So as you can see, I have multiple portals. I have some weapon effects. I have a helmet cosmetic thing, a chest cosmetic thing, gloves, boots. I also have some pair of wings. Or back attachments. So you can unlock cosmetics just by playing the game. You don't have to buy anything. But if you do want to buy, there's a lot of stuff to buy.
When I'm ready and not before.
Okay, so we got to the ledge, and as you can see, it has a waypoint, but the blue circle inside this thing here is smaller. That's because we didn't unlock the waypoint, and here we did unlock it. So once we unlock the waypoint here, the icon for this map will be just like this one.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Now, as you can see, this gem is now grayed out. That's because we can't level it up anymore because we're missing dexterity. We wanna level up Animate Weapon. Animate Weapon is a green gem, and for the next level, as you can see down here, it says it requires 17 dexterity. So, somehow we need to get some dexterity. And we can get it, for example... Well, we can type dexterity. So we can get it here, we can get it here, here, here. Or we can go back to town and get some dexterity items. So green gems always require dexterity, however sometimes they can also require dexterity and intelligence, or dexterity and strength, but they will always require dexterity and they will require it much more than any other attribute. And the same goes for other gems. The blue ones require intelligence, they can also require other attributes, only less. And also the same story goes for red gems, which require strength.
Fate smiles with sharp teeth.
The earth of Rayclast rejects the dead. The black spirit of storm and dream now reaches into the ground and raises up our slain imperial foes. It leads the fallen from their graves and drives them to fight us beyond the end, rotted tooth and jagged nail. Our own remembered have joined their cursed ranks. No longer may we give our beloved to the birds, messengers of spirit to the sky, conveyors of flesh to the earth. Calm has commanded us to destroy our remembered with axe and fire. Calm is the bravest of us, willing to bear the ire of the ancestors for the survival of his people.
When I'm ready, and not before. Too much clutter.
Our God.
Okay, so we got Orb of Transmutation and Orb of Alchemy. Orb of Transmutation will enchant a white item and make it become blue item or magic item, while Orb of Alchemy will enchant white item and make it become rare item or yellow item. Now the difference between white and, for example, blue items is that white items don't have any stats besides the armor or maybe this increased spell damage 10%, while the magic items will have some random stats like these two, +3 to maximum life and regenerate life per second. There is also Orb that allows you to make any type of item into white item just to delete all of the stats that it has. And for example, as you can see, this belt by default has a increased global physical damage when it's white. Now this is a default stat for this specific item. If we were to enchant it with Orb of Transmutation, it would gain 1 or 2 additional stats. Now I don't know if I wanna use the harvest mechanic a lot, because if you watch this in the future, then you will not have this type of league mechanic, since it changes every 3 months.
Hello.
Now let's see, can we buy some dexterity amulet? Yes, we can. Let's buy this one. And we can also use... I'm gonna use Orb of Alchemy right away to enchant it. Or I can use a Orb of Transmutation to make it blue. Nice, we got 5 to all attributes. Yeah, let's use it. Now, if you don't like the stats on it, you can always reroll them with Orbs of Alteration. With Orbs of Alteration, you can reroll stats on magic items or on blue items. So let's just do it for a showcase. Now we have 1 to 2 physical damage and regenerate life per second. The previous stat was better, but that doesn't matter. And now we can level up Animate Weapon.
When I'm ready, and not before.
The Black Spirit infects living flesh and bone. The animals suffered first. Their bodies changed, their eyes filled with a hatred of mankind that is beyond instinct. Now it is we who must bend and bow like saplings before the sea-born gale. The firstborn of the Kingdom of Calm greeted us this day. The firstborn of the Kingdom of Calm was buried this day. Even our children are not spared the Black Spirit's touch. What have we done to enrage Rayclast? We look to Calm. Our king will lay the spirit of this land at peace.
Okay, now these are the essence monsters. When we kill them, they will give us a very cool thing to craft our items. Now they are a league mechanic from one of the previous leagues, that's why they don't spawn on every map. So the current league mechanic spawns always, while the previous league mechanics have a chance to spawn on a map. Okay, so we got the essence, we can use it on any white item and turn it into yellow, rare item. So you can see on the essence, it has a description. If you use it on a specific item, it will guarantee you one stat, while all the other stats are going to be random. Now we just got Orb of Fusing. This orb allows us to link sockets.
I'd rather burn than call such a place home.
Not right now.
The tale of Brutus was a popular one in the schools of Theopolis, taught in the hopes of deterring students from ambitions not condoned by the Templar. Brutus was warden of Axiom Prison, and one of the most feared men in the Eternal Empire. But there the histories end, and the myth begins, with Brutus commissioning a witch to transform him in a mad attempt at immortality. A moment of hubris that didn't end well for anyone. If it's true, then Brutus has my pity. Some of us pay too dearly for our mistakes. Yet if you insist on learning from your own mistakes, then please, take one of these. You might need it.
Okay, so we got minion damage support, which is amazing.
Farewell.
We will put it on our animate weapon. We can also put it on our raised zombie.
What little help I can
So
offer
if we
is
want, we can buy another one. And link it with raised zombies. So now we have 2 support minion damage gems. Now, since my animate weapon is a single target minion, I wanna buy a melee splash gem so that they can gain splash damage. A more of AoE type of damage. But we need strength for this, so
what little help I can offer.
I'll
is
just
you-
get it later.
What little help I can offer is you.
Now I want to get this passive because it gives me more life and all elemental resistances. And elemental resistances are really important in this game.
Is it choice that carries you here, or is it fate? I see a need in you. A need to peer into your future. A need to follow the right path. But your future has already been cast. So open your mind and embrace it. Long ago, my people called me a Hatungo, a wise woman. Now they call me a revenant. But it is not my fate to return to the Mother of Death just yet. For now, I stand with one foot in this world, and the other foot in the realm of the dead. I'm an inquirer of the living, and an interpreter of death. I sense you have questions. For a gift of silver, I will answer them. But you seek more than answers. Riches, power. These I can also provide, in a way. All you have to do is join me. Heed my words, but walk your path. The future is mine to tell, but yours to claim. It is time to fulfill your prophecy.
Now, she's important, and I'm gonna explain you later why she's important.
I will see you again.
It's because of this sick prophecy, and I will explain you later what this means.
Fate will find you.
That would just make life complicated.
There's a fine line between man and monster. Brutus, the warden of Axiom Prison, he crossed that line long ago. A big lad, and as you know from Hillock, big lads are slow. Hit and run, that's the way to cut them down to size. Unless there's thaumaturgy involved, then forget the hitting bit, just run. There's many a way to die in Rayclast. Most of them are mercifully quick. But you get caught alive by the Goatmen, you'll wish by any god you believe in that you hadn't. I've heard some of the more superstitious exiles say there's a deity these Goatmen worship. Abarath, Eater of Agony. Sounds like a right bastard if you ask me. So if the Goatmen hand you an invitation to go have dinner with the Cloven God, tell them where to stick it.
You also want to check if this guy can sell you boots with movement speed, because movement speed
Stay
is really
sharp out
important.
What now? Brutus, warden of Axiom prison. The way I heard, albeit from ale-soaked sailors, fear unmanned the great Brutus. Not fear of man, nor beast. Fear of death. Life is like wine, best enjoyed in moderation. I don't envy Brutus's hangover.
What little help I can offer is yours.
Still alive, are we?
When I'm ready, and not before.
In the court of the goddess, every man and woman is deemed worthy of redemption. Though you might be shackled by the tribulations of the past, the trials ahead offer you both freedom and glory. The future is yours, if you're bold enough to reach out for it.
Okay, now we just found a trial of Ascendancy. This is something that we can skip, but I highly advise you not to skip it, because this will allow us to, well, ascend our characters. You will see what that means in the future.
Oops, clumsy me.
Now, if you want to see items that your loot filter doesn't show you, you just have to hold down the Alt button.
Belief is the strongest metal of them all.
So we unlocked one trial of Ascendancy, now we need to unlock 5 more.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Now, as you can see, I'm not picking up every single item that drops on the ground, and you shouldn't either. Just look at what type of sockets does the item have, how many of them, and if they are linked. That's all that matters. Because when it comes to stats, you can easily add them, remove them, or change them.
Gather them.
Now this rope can be good. Okay, so we got a superior gem. The reason why it's called superior, it's because this gem has a quality. And you wanna keep all the gems that have quality. I will explain you later why. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's a vendor recipe.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Okay, now one more thing. This shield gives us increased spell damage. And as you can see, some gems have spell tag. So this shield will improve our spell gems, while this gem has an attack tag, and because of that, it's not going to be affected by this shield.
The harvest.
Should I do the harvest? Maybe later. Okay, now this is what the Orb of Fusing looks like with a loot filter. And this is what it looks like without loot filter.
When I'm ready, and not before. Too much clutter. When I'm ready, and not before.
Ignorance brought you here, sister. To the one place where your talents are free to grow and be truly feared.
Still the Karui barbarians advance upon us. Lina is dead, his legion slaughtered along with every eternal man, woman and child from Lina's watch to the foot of our axiom. Should the need arise, we shall retreat through Prison's Gate, raising my barricade behind us. Yet our salvation is at hand. Foul times demand heroic deeds, and through my arts our Lord Brutus will arise anew to defend us. May the dry sands quench their thirst with Karui blood when our mighty warden delivers his judgment upon them.
My loyal Declan, give Our Lady Piety your absolute support and watch her with absolute scrutiny. There is much to learn from the likes of the Inquisitor, the Umbra, and the Soulless One. I would hate for Piety to feel that she need shoulder such perilous wisdom alone. Dominus.
Know that I embrace you. Come and share it with me.
Had you been my creation, brute, you'd not have fallen so easily. Too much clutter.
Nice, we got our first legendary item. It gives us strength, evasion, cold resistance, 50% of physical damage converted to cold damage, and it also reflects cold damage to melee attackers. Let's see, I wanna keep this chest for now. This helmet. Equip this. And sell everything else.
For some, death is welcomed with open arms. Did you end Brutus's suffering out of avarice or mercy? Only you know the answer to that one. Yes? I can think of only one reason why Piety would be here. She's interested in the sickness that pervades this place, the corruption that raises the dead and twists the wildlife into aberrations. Goodbye.
Marsyas commanded the southernmost of the Eternal Legions, here at Lion Eye's watch. Why was he called Lion Eye? Crazy fool had his left eye taken out and a golden-hued gem put in its place. His head must have made quite a pretty adornment for King Golem's belt.
Let me tell your future.
The Warden's free of his own prison. Well, since you're so bloody determined to cheat the britches off death, you better have one of these, for luck. And when they write the song about you, just be sure to mention that it was Tarkley who taught you everything you know.
Okay, we can take summon skeletons, but I'm gonna use animate weapons, so I don't need the skeletons. So instead, I'm gonna take a flame dash, since it's a really good movement spell.
Still alive, are we?
Hello.
Still composing that?
Too much clutter.
Dear Chevron, you have certainly had your work cut out for you with Lion Eye's Legion. Do not concern yourself with Marsyas' complaints. Our Emperor is fully aware of the gem's fickle nature. As to your need to accelerate the implantation process, I can recommend a quite simple alteration. Dip the gem in a boiling solution of 6 parts blood and 1 part thormetic sulfite for no more than 13 seconds. Any longer, and you invite the crystal's wrath. Once the gem is withdrawn from the solution, you have but a few seconds to install the gem in the prepared flash,
unclose the wound. Should the gem cool too much prior to implantation, it will become inert, and you're patient with it. Trust in that bountiful talent of yours, Sharan. My thoughts are with you. Malachi.
That would just make life complicated.
Hello. Take care. Yes? Goodbye.
Okay, now I'm gonna end this episode, but before I go, I wanna explain to you what's the difference between... Wait, I don't have it. For example, what's the difference between blue items and yellow items? So blue items compared to white items can have 1 to 2 additional stats, and yellow items can have between 3 to 6 additional stats compared to white items. So this weapon, as you can see, if you hold down Alt, it has 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes. However, rare items can have up to 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes, while blue items can only have 1 prefix and 1 suffix. So what is prefix and suffix? Prefixes and suffixes are 2 groups of different stats, and every rare item can take up to 3 stats from the prefix group and also up to 3 random stats from the suffix group. Now, this is not all of the information that you need to know about the items, but for now, this is good enough. I'm definitely gonna talk more about items in the future, and more things that you need to know about the stats and all of that.
I traveled here through death's darkened halls, walking the paths of the remembered. I am but a memory of the woman I was. A memory treasured and sustained by the Mother of Death. I awoke in the halls of death, with the life I once led little more than a dream half remembered. Yama the White, my furry companion, stood before me with the seeing stone he holds now. Both were given a hair of Hinekora's dark knowledge, but each serves a separate purpose. The seeing stone drags me deep into its core, where every instant into eternity is known all at once, like limitless rings on a tree trunk. Yama, like a torch in the mist, guides me back from the stone's infinite visions. Hinekora, my Mother of Death, is not the only god, Exile. The Karui are watched over by many. Namahu lends us fire, which illuminates the path. Tafor gives us the trees and birds that line the path, so that we may enjoy beauty and peace. Tukohama provides us with weapons and knowledge of war, which lets us walk the path safely. And in the final days of this world, Kitava, whose hunger knows no bounds, will take it all away. I will see you again.
That would just make life complicated.
What a lovely day!
And we will continue this in the next episode, so if you liked this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.